Welcome, everyone. Today we're going to talk about Christian Pulisic, and he's been having a couple issues this season, but I'm not going to talk too much about that because people have already talked about it. It's quite obvious the issues he's been having this season, the reasons. I'll quickly skim through them. This video is going to be fun, and we're going to speculate on where he could go and why. Even though I don't think he's leaving Chelsea, this is a Chelsea jersey, by the way, an older Chelsea jersey. I don't think he'll leave Chelsea, but that's what we're going to do in this video. We're going to speculate on where he could go, and I'm going to give you my reasons why, similar to the Gio Reyna video we done 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. And for this video, make sure you stay tuned. Yes, because our producer, Dustin, will show up. He will be in the video, and man, it was hard to get him to the video, and he won't show up very often, so make sure to watch and subscribe and hit the like button to support Dustin, not Tactical Manager today. So now, let's dive into the problems very quickly before we go to the speculation. And feel free to comment down below which team you think Christian Pulisic would go if he left Chelsea and why, or which one you want him to go to. But to be honest, I don't think he's going anywhere. I don't think he's leaving Chelsea. Let's roll the episode. Alright, so there's a couple reasons for his struggle. Let's skim through it. The first one right away is Christian Pulisic started off the season with a lot of little injuries here and there, and that slowed him down of the form he was picking up from last season. The second reason, Chelsea did make a lot of signings, and that would hurt his minutes regardless. There's more competition. Timo Werner, Kai Havertz, Ziyech, Hudson-Odoi in form, playing much better. So all of that definitely would affect his minutes. Now, the main reason I want to talk about, which many are not talking about, is Thomas Tuchel goes with a 3-defender formation, and he used right wing and left wing backs, not wingers, true wingers. And that does hurt Christian Pulisic's game quite a bit, as he has to play a more central role. Am I opposed to Christian Pulisic playing a central role? No, I'm not opposed to that. But here's the thing. The first myth we have to bust right away is he's not playing as a false nine. He's playing as a second striker when he's in, kind of roaming around. And the problem with that is Christian Pulisic's game is going at the defender at speed. And can he do that from a central position? He absolutely can. But you get into those situations much more often when you're playing through the wings. That's when you get those situations. That's why when he's playing central, he's not as good. Can Christian Pulisic play in tight spaces? Absolutely. Is that his best game? Is that where he's best at? No. He's best at when he's going at the defender. That's why when he plays wide, he's better and looks more informed. Now, will it work for him staying in a central position? Maybe it will, but that's one of the reasons he could leave Chelsea, just he doesn't fit Thomas Tuchel's formation, and he could leave Chelsea on a loan. Before we start the speculation, Christian Pulisic's current market value is $66 million, and Chelsea paid $70 million for him, so don't expect him to leave for less than that. I don't think Chelsea would want him to leave. What could happen is he could go out on a loan, which would make more sense, because then Chelsea would have him back, since he doesn't truly fit Thomas Tuchel's system right now. But I think he will bounce back on Chelsea, and I think he'll stay. But for the purpose of this video, let's start speculating. And I'm going to start right away speculating with the elephant in the room, and that's Bayern, because there's actual rumors there. Alright, so let's start the speculation of Bayern, which the transfer rumors are real. It doesn't mean he'll go there, but there are transfer rumors. Bayern does play a 4-2-3-1 formation mostly, and we have also seen a 4-1-4-1 formation. But what really matters here is Hansi Flick always uses wingers. Sometimes he uses true wingers that just go down the lane for crosses. Sometimes he goes with inverted wingers to pinch in. So both of those, Christian Pulisic fits in pretty well. Pulisic is also very familiar with the Bundesliga, and a return there could be very positive. Plus, there are rumors that Koeman could leave this summer, which would leave Bayern man down on the winger spot, and Sané and Gnabry do get injured more often than the average player, somewhat similar to Christian Pulisic. As much as he wouldn't be a lock-in starter for Bayern, if he's healthy, he's likely going to get a lot of minutes and start due to all these injuries, and Koeman leaving would play a big role too. The other point I wanted to talk about was Bayern has tried in the past to enter the US market through Landon Donovan, Julian Green, now we have Chris Richards there, and they have failed. Maybe Christian Pulisic could be another attempt to enter the US market, and would probably be a successful one, as he's pure talent and he would not be a bust there. We're pretty sure he would work if he played there. But that's just a speculation. Make sure you comment down below. Let's hear what Dustin has to say, as I promised you guys, our producer in this video. Alright Dustin, so we finally got here in the channel. It's very hard to get you in videos here. What are the teams that you think Pulisic could end up going to if he is to leave Chelsea? We both don't think he'll leave. What are the teams and why? Just tell us very quickly.
Yeah, so briefly, you already talked about Bayern Munich, so I'm not going to go in depth. But what I do want, I would like him to go to a club where he could have some playing time. And I know that a place like Dortmund would be familiar for him. I know a lot of people are going to talk about him going to Dortmund would be a step back. But in my opinion, if he's getting those 90 minutes every week, to me, that's a win. And plus, having Gio Reyna, it's also a huge win for the USMNT because now we have two Americans playing at the same club, and that creates more of a chemistry. And this would definitely benefit the USMNT. Another option would be Liverpool. I think Liverpool would be a great club for Pulisic because he plays this pressing style of soccer, and that's what club wants. And I think that identity does resonate with Pulisic playing style. However, there is Mane there, and obviously he's one of the best players in the world. So because of that, I don't think that's realistic unless Mane ends up going to Real Madrid, but we don't really know what's going to happen. And my last option would be Man United. Well, this is more of a fantasy for me because I'm a United fan, but I think Pulisic is way better than Daniel James. We all know that. However, I do want him to play those 90 minutes, and he will have to compete with a British player like Rashford per se. So I think because of that, that will be really difficult for him to lock in that starting spot. So I might feel a little iffy about United, but that's something more that I would like to see as a United fan.
All right, another team I want to speculate on is Real Madrid, and they definitely have the money to sign Christian Pulisic, and they could be trying to enter the US market as that's not something they really went heavy in yet. Real Madrid also mostly plays a 4-3-3 formation with wingers under Zinedine Zidane, and those wingers such as Vini Jr. are inverted wingers that pinch in, similar to what Christian Pulisic is at his best. They're clearly unhappy with Eden Hazard, it hasn't worked, and they're probably looking for a new start. And this could be a huge opportunity for Christian Pulisic if he heads to Real Madrid, as he could be one of their main players at the wing. I think he'll be a lock-in starter, as their current wingers are also very inconsistent. So that could be a huge opportunity for Christian Pulisic. I would not want to see him in Real Madrid for a couple reasons I don't want to talk about right now, but it's very possible that it could happen. Team number 3 for me, AC Milan. Yes, I want to speculate on AC Milan, and the Milan Giants are kind of back, and they're looking on track to having a very successful decade, different from the previous one, and we know how big they can be. Their manager Stefano Pioli has done a great job and has clearly shown that he has no problem playing young players such as Sandro Tonali, Brahim Diaz, Rafael Leão, alongside with veteran Zlatan Ibrahimovic. They also mostly play on a 4-2-3-1 formation with wingers. And yes, again, this thing of a coach playing with wingers is a pretty big deal with Christian Pulisic, because as I said, he's better at the wing because he has more space to go at the defender. For him to go at the defender when going central, he would need a team that spreads the field a little more, and that nowadays in soccer has not been happening, as teams do like to press. So the wingers, he has more space to go at the defender. I just wanted to make that clear again. Back to AC Milan. Pulisic would not only be just a great signing, but he would be a great marketing strategy for this new era at AC Milan. But he can also become one of the main faces of this team, an American, to join AC Milan, succeed. It's a big team. He would get Champions League soccer, which is very important. They're qualifying, by the way, for next season. I see this with very good eyes, so I would actually like to see Christian Pulisic go to AC Milan. I don't know what you guys think. I think he fits the system. I think it would be a good marketing tool, and he would be a lock-in starter for this team in a big time for the Serie A and playing Champions League football. I love it. But let's move on to the next team. AC Milan does have money, by the way, so they could afford Pulisic if they really wanted to. Another team I want to speculate on is someone that Dustin already talked about, and that's Klopp's Liverpool. Even though Christian Pulisic never played a senior match for Klopp, it does seem like they have a good relationship, and it just seems like one day they will be in the same team. It's destiny. Oh god, that was so poetic from myself. I'm sorry, but let's keep going. Klopp does use a 4-3-3 formation with wingers pinching in, which is to me what Pulisic's at is best. Now Liverpool has American owners, and around this time they do need to start rejuvenating all these seasons. Obviously with Mane and Salah, Pulisic would likely be benched, but maybe Mane departing or Salah could be a big deal and Pulisic could be heading there, and he would fit perfectly. The downside is they play a pressing system. Yes, the pressing system, in my opinion, is a downside because Christian Pulisic has shown to be injury prone with muscle injuries. Pressing systems tend to put a big toll on the player's body and they can get fatigued, and maybe Pulisic wouldn't be able to play as many matches. He would have to be rested more often, or he would get injuries more often. That's the only issue I have with that. However, the USMNT also is going to play a pressing system, so Pulisic better learn to deal with pressing systems. So that's the only thing I wanted to address. The other thing I want to address is Chelsea might be not very happy about selling Pulisic or loaning him to a rival like Liverpool. So that won't happen, in my opinion, but I just wanted to speculate on it. Let's go to the very last team I want to talk about where Christian Pulisic could go to and why. And by now, I hope you hit the like button, you subscribe to the channel, join our growing USMNT community, and Comment down below, where would you want to see Christian Pulisic played if he left Chelsea? All right, the last team I want to talk about is also the same as Dustin. It's Borussia Dortmund. I do believe it would be interesting for him to return to his home sweet home, the team where it all started for him in Europe. Again, Dortmund's a team that plays on a 4-2-3-1 system, and we can just go on with that whole wingers argument, how I'd like to see him the team that plays with wingers. Jadon Sancho seems very close to leaving and almost certain at this point, so Dortmund would need a quality winger to replace him. Pulisic's now more experienced, knows the Bundesliga, and returning to Dortmund would give him a confidence boost that I think he very much needs right now. Now, would this be a downgrade? I don't think so. Dortmund's always qualifying to the Champions League. They are a top 3 team in the Bundesliga every season. I know they're struggling this season. I don't see Dortmund as a downgrade or Bundesliga downgrade from the Premier League. I'll be totally fine with it. And he's very young, so he'd likely go to Dortmund, probably on a loan from Chelsea. That can happen. Or he could get sold to Dortmund, and Dortmund will look to sell him to a bigger team later on. But by no means I think that's a downgrade or that would hurt his career at all. Another point I want to touch on is what Dustin said. For a USMNT perspective, having him and Reina in the same team is very interesting. Having him play with Haaland would also be very cool. So I'm totally okay with him heading to Borussia Dortmund. That concludes our list of teams, and hopefully you commented down below which team you want to see Christian Pulisic go to. Alright guys, just to wrap up the video here, I want to thank you all very much for watching, tuning in, and dealing with me once again. Alright, we will be doing live streams for the USMNT all over the month of March, so make sure you subscribe to the channel, you hit the like button. In my personal opinion, Christian Pulisic will not leave Chelsea. If he does leave, it'll be on a loan. I think he'll leave on a loan because Chelsea will want him back. Chelsea does not want to get rid of Pulisic. It's just a bad form moment. He'll recover. Captain America will be back. I'm not worried at all. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching everyone. Have a great day.